guys, hope everyone is doing well. It's 3:26 for me AM. I just came back from Christmas with my family. It went great and I was looking to create some content, but I have internet issues once again. So I figured that I needed to create some different kind of content. So what I did is this. I took every single question that you guys asked me on my YouTube channel and I will answer them one by one. So I will put timestamps so you can go straight up to the subjects that interest you if you want to. I will try, of course, to skip also the questions that have been asked twice. And yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting because you guys can comment, can look at the comment sections of some videos, but no one looks at every single one of them. So if you do enjoy that kind of different content, just let me know in the comments, drop a like, subscription, you know the story, guys. So yeah, I will get right into it. Do you think that grass is going to be stronger pick now than it was before? When that question was asked on me when the patch happened where grass and hold were nerfed. So no, I'd argue that it was weaker. Is Tryndamere with grasp still a thing? I think it's still a thing to this day. What made you not go grasp this game? It's specific to the game. Most likely, I believe that I would have an impact in teamfights, or I would need to completely 1v9 the game and would not be able to rely on my team. When do you go grasp? It feels like a weird choice on Trynd, so I have a whole video about that. It's called when grasp when lethal tempo, I think, on my YouTube channel. If you type when grasp when lethal, you're gonna find it. Most likely I'd go grasp whenever I feel like I wouldn't be out impacted in teamfight and also in side lane if I go lethal tempo. So I try to find another solution. Does it make sense in Bruiser matchups to go grasp and rush Sheen? I don't think you should rush Sheen. Or even go grasping bruisers matchups. I think lethal tempo is the way and you want to look to snowball and absolutely shit on them. I'm at the beginning of the video and I'm curious to see how the bone plating plays out. So I think that bone plating can be really good in some matchups, especially Yone, Yasuo, because they actually like to have bone plating and lethal tempo. It's going to come down to whoever gets his bone plating first or the lethal tempo stacked in first, and it can make the whole difference. Also, it's really good into certain matchups like Renekton, for example, because if he autos empowered W's, it will like bone plate on every single tick of damage. Also, any other good option other than magical footwear to pair with DMAT? Well, whenever I go my grasp setup with DMAT and footwear, I don't think there's any other rune that's as good as those, and it's like through my own experience and testing. Why not use DMAT instantly when you get it? I think that DMAT, if you can hold it and use it as late as possible, it's super good. If you can have Hullbreaker first, well then if you have a cannon wave, your Hullbreaker is empowering your cannon and your DMAT is just like making their cannon disappear, and then you have an insane pushing advantage. So that's why I try to wait as much as possible and use them for demolish procs. What made you not do the grass build versus Malphite, just testing lethal, or you prefer it now? Well, these days, if you followed the channel, you know that I'm going lethal tempo every single game, and that's because I've been coached, and we agreed with my coach that I was shit at skirmishing and I like just being there for my team, and I needed to just go on a drill and be there for every single objective if I can. So I'm just playing lethal every game because it's just more consistent with being there, you know. Do you think grasp or other runes would have a place in your playstyle after the drill is over? I think it will, but it will be like way less games most likely, but I still believe there's a place for grasp. Is it possible to one-trick the grass build on Tryndamere and get on high elo? Well, we agreed with that on that with Scyther, that you can one-trick any single like Trynd build that's possible. That's of course like not completely troll, or also you could one-trick grasp or one-trick lethal tempo and still go even to low challenger if you play it to the absolute perfection. Why do you take to build adaptive force runes? So I did my math at some point. I realized that if I want to play just for short raids, well, adaptive is just better because I'm not attacking on CD. You only do that on all-ins. So if you're playing any matchups that you're kind of poking, because yes, you can poke with Trynd with auto ease out into an all-in, it just felt better to me to CS for my E damage, for short trades. This day I've been trying to go more for attack speed also, but I think it's gonna be a balance to find. Sometimes I will still go double adaptive if I believe that I will win through short trades and not all-ins. Grasp is good in which situation? Same, you can look at the video and it answers everything. Would you ever go any other keystone? Someone asked me that on a Grasp game, and yes, I go lethal tempo most of the time. Would Grasp plus full be a good general strategy for low elo? I think it can work, of course. In low elo, you can make AP Tryndamere work in low elo. I just think that if you're looking to learn the game as much as possible, well, you shouldn't one-trick Grasp, and you should rather, if you want to one-trick something, it's gonna be lethal tempo, because it's just like more accurate and consistent generally on Tryndamere. How do you feel about Grasp into Tamkinch? So I think it's better than lethal. It's like, of course, more consistent if you're playing like, if Trynd is played perfectly and Tamkinch is played perfectly, well, Grasp Trynd builds Tamkinch, but not lethal tempo Trynd. Now, if you're in solo queue and you're looking to snowball and win your game, which you should probably do it, change my mind on that. You should go lethal tempo and you can still beat Tamkin, just try to avoid his Qs as much as possible. Do you have any vids on the Teemo matchup with Tryndamere? Yes, I have. You can just go on my YouTube channel, look at the videos, and in the research bar, you type any matchup, and I'll always put the name of the matchup in the title of the video so you can find it. Tryndamere versus Nasus, do I have to start with boots? I don't think so. I think with Nasus versus Nasus, the best setup is actually to go cleanse Ghost, and you don't have to start with boots. I always like to have an extra movement speed on my opponent. Basically, if he rushes, let's say Tabais, I would rush still like Zerkers. I would try to have them before him and have more movement speed. If he doesn't have boots, tier 1 boots are enough, and then you just go for some damage. Would you go Grasp into Nasus? No, never. I think you can just look to shit on him and snowball on him, and if you go Grasp, you're looking to scale, but you don't outscale Nasus, so you need to absolutely dominate him. What do you think about Threadbreaker first item into Quinn? I think it's really good. I think it's the go-to first item versus Quinn. Should you permaban Malphite as Tryndamere? I don't think you should permaban Malphite as Tryndamere. I think that Tryndamere can actually out-impact Malphite in the game. It's just very boring. And recently I've been playing 22 games, and out of them 9 were Malphite matchups, so I got bored as well, and I started banning him just out of boredom, not because I actually do think that he's a better champion to win the game. What do you build for Tryndamere when Tryndamere versus Aatrox? So if you're actually like hard beating him and you can consistently fight him and beat him, you should rush Kraken Slayer, I think. And if you're kind of even, you can look to buy an Executioners on top of your Kraken Slayer and try to use that anti-healing to surprise him. How do you play out games where, and then classical, you know, you can go like Kraken Triforce, Serialda, or PD into an Armor Penite. I mean, not Serialda, you need to go Mortal Remainder at some point, because healing is a big part of the champion, but you also can go Kraken Stride, Mortal Remainder, PD. You get the idea. How do you play out games where they send Jax against you inside? Well, if you didn't manage to snowball on him and just beat him in laning phase, well, you cannot match Jax later, so you're gonna try to force Jax on side lane and make him go there first, and then out-rotate on the map. Maybe he's gonna TP, you go back on side lane, and you do that again, just like against any matchup that holds you on side lane and has more impact on teamfight. Malphite, Gragas, Jax, this kind of champions. Do you feel like the matchup is easier or harder when Jax goes Grasp? So if I'm going Grasp and he goes lethal, I'm happy. If I go Grasp and he goes Grasp, I'm less happy. If I go lethal and he goes lethal, I'm not happy. If I go lethal and he goes Grasp, I'm happy. Basically, I want him not to play on the same terrain as me, and I would try to fight him on my rules. Is there ever a scenario where you want to focus the maiden instead of Yorick himself? Yes, if you cannot hit Yorick and can only hit the maiden. Also, if it's, you know, like very close, if you don't think you can just all in Yorick and kill him there, you should try to see if you can kill the maiden without being killed. So you kill the maiden, then you stand back up with some Qs, and then you all in Yorick. He's way weaker if he doesn't have his maiden. If you're fighting Malphite, who are you banning instead? Recently I've been banning Fiora a lot because I had terrible FPS and ping, and I don't want to play Fiora with her vitals if I have bad FPS and ping, but I'm back to banning Malphite now because, as I said, I got bored. Can you do a guide on how to play versus Aatrox? Same for Teemo, you can just type Aatrox and just see what I say about the matchup on my YouTube channel, and you also have my Tryndamere matchup spreadsheets that I link in my YouTube descriptions, and you can look at it and see what I say on the matchup. What do you feel about Tiamat when ahead? I think if you're ahead, you don't want an item that just helps you push faster. You want to just keep absolutely snowballing on your opponent and just go towards your next power spike, which is most likely a full item. Will Sunder be better versus tanks? I don't think there is, like, I don't think you ever want to go Sunder on Trynd. Like, if I'm going Grasp, it's not to click on my opponents, it's actually to click on, to go like Hullbreaker, Triforce, and one-shot turrets with the wave. Is Quicksilver Sash ever good into Teemo? I think it is, if you're not going Cleanse. If you don't want to go Cleanse, you can go for an early QSS or later QSS. And even if you go Cleanse, you can go Cleanse and QSS, and then you deny 2 of his Qs, and you can just like absolutely shit on the Teemo. You don't like Step Breaker, P-Dancer, Shore of Nights, and Essence River. I think it's just like a weird translation. I think that Straight Breaker, I do like it. Phantom Dancer, I do like it. That's Navori, probably, I do like it. I mean, we don't build it as much. And Essence River, I do like it into like very squishy teams when I'm rushing Straight and PD, and then I go Essence River to have some damage. Versus Jax, Rush Hole Breaker, well, that's one way to beat Jax, just go Grasp and Rush Hole. Hullbreaker first is lacking damages, no? Well, no, because I'm not looking to damage anyway. Like, it's lacking damage, but it's not lacking what you want that item to do whenever you build it, so yes, but no. Also, because you're more tanky, you can deal more damage. Like, you could argue that it's actually pretty good damage output. Do you think about Hullbreaker third item at all? Of course. Will I go Lethal Tempo? I mean, it could be done as a third or fourth item in the standard builds. I just don't know what to build using Grass after Hold into tanks. Well, as I said, I'm not playing for the champion. If you're playing to fight the champion, you can go Hullbreaker into Borg, maybe, into some Armorpen item with crit, some Mortal Reminder most likely. And then, well, of course, like, you should go for Triforce at some point because you're looking to hit turrets. Why do you buy LDR with this build? I think if I ever bought LDR, it was a mistake. I think Mortal Remainder is just like more consistent because this build was a Grass build. Is Kraken Rush still good? Yes, it is in many matchups. Most of the matchups, actually. Many matchups. Why don't people build Navori Quickblade anymore? Well, that's a tough one. Ule says... he says like, it just feels better. Sather says it just feels better. Ranger says Triforce is the new Navori, basically. I like, regarding my opinion, it just also feels better to have Triforce, probably because it's more it does more things, you know. It's better to stick on targets. You could think that Navori is better to stick on targets because you're gonna reset your abilities, but actually with Navori, in order to reset your abilities, you need to actually hit your auto attacks. So if you cannot reach them in the first place, there's no point in getting Navori. Now, if you're confident 100% that you can hit consistently your opponent, Navori has better DPS than Triforce. But Triforce makes you move faster on the map, which is insane. Stick on squish on sloppy targets easier, have more burst versus squishes, and also have a really good speed push power with the Shin procs. So probably for all of those reasons. Gustavman, any theory crafting on season 14 build path yet? Well, not yet, because I don't like to do early testing, because they're going to change a lot of things in the game. Also, I want to get GM before the end of the season, but I promised my SEO guy that I would do at least one video on the season 14, so it's coming very soon. With your new team fighting oriented playstyle, what kind of items do you think you're going to be buying? Most likely Stridebreaker, Triforce every single game. Can you try to explain your item choices better? I would try from now on to explain all my item choices better, for sure. Basically, you need to ask yourself, what am I going to do next? What am I going to hit next? and you build whatever item helps you for that. But I will explain game per game what I'm doing. It's very first a viable item as of right now, and is Hydra always good to build when splitting 90% of the time. As I said, you can OTP any item and just get even to Challenger. You could go Hydra first every single game and go to Challenger, I believe. It's gonna be just harder, but I think you can do it if you play it perfect. And it's very first a viable item as of right now. Yes, it is a really good item as of right now. Thoughts on going Iceborne Gauntlet? I think it's only good versus full armor comps, where you're gonna buy an early chain vest and then complete your Iceborne as a third item. Yeah, whenever I was into full AD, I did that and I felt really, really strong. Want to respond to the part where you said go whole into Borg? Have you tried Hydra? I have. It just does two very different things. Like if I'm going whole into Borg, is that I'm looking for very specific things, being very tanky, not being able to tie to my opponent while being able to kill my opponent. If I'm going Hydra, I'm just looking to push waves very fast, maybe out sustain if I'm looking to fight my opponent. Otherwise, I'm just looking to proxy waves and then move, steal camps, etc. So it's very different things. Can you please tell me when you go Trinity and when you go the other mythic item? I think Triforce is basically, if you're 100% sure you can hit consistently, it's Navari. If you can hit a bit less but still hit consistently, it's Triforce. If you feel like you need something to stick on your opponent, it's Stridebreaker. But still, there's more to it. Basically, at this point, like if you've played enough of all the different builds, you should just listen to your guts and yeah, listen to what feels good to build in a specific game. Because for example, like if I'm facing Darius, I mean, it's because I cannot hit consistently, like moving straight though. So yeah, maybe that was a good general idea. What is the reasoning behind Hullbreaker first over something like Revenants with that setup? I explained it already with the cannon thingy. Can Stridebreaker active slow max lethal tempo? It's someone who thought that Stridebreaker slowed at the attack speed. Well, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Don't you think the Hullbreaker nerfs in Season 14 will make Grasp not viable? It's very possible. We're going to do the testing soon, but maybe the whole Grasp thing is dead. So if you enjoyed it, you still have like 2 weeks to enjoy it. So yeah, play a lot of Grasp Trins and pay respect to it, because it's gonna probably disappear. How do you feel about the proposed buff for the new attack range? Well, it's not proposed anymore, it's live, and I think it's absolutely stupid. But it's also very fun as a Trin player, so it's stupid and it's fun, and that's what I think about it. Would jungle Trin actually be viable? It is. It's of course like there is 40 champions that do jungle better than Tryndamere, but if you do play Tryndamere to its best in the jungle, you can have a lot of success, and also it's pretty fun to have. Is Tryndamere really strong and it's me that's stuck at Tryndamere? Yes, sorry to tell you, but Tryndamere is actually pretty strong in the meta. He's in a really good spot. There is no issue. Like you saw Ranger getting to Challenger with 75% win rate, and I'm sure he made a lot of mistakes in his games still, because we all do mistakes. So yeah, Tryndamere is in a good spot. Why don't you put the other skill points on your R after the first one? You want to put skill points in your R only if you think that you're going to use your R on CD. Otherwise, it's useless. Also, even if you think you're going to use it on CD, but you just used R and then you level up, you don't want to put the point in R, because you're most likely going to level up again before you use your R again. So then you put your point in R, because you don't get value from your R when you use it. You actually get value like on your next R if you use it in the first 20 seconds of having it. So in games that feel very slow and you don't think you're going to use it on cooldown, you shouldn't take a point in it. But these days I've been putting points in it like a lot. Why don't you level up your ult? Same question. In the new playstyle, are you really playing to your champion's strength? That's a really good question. Split push is way less strong in the current meta. If you look at pro play, people only play split push when they play Yone, because you can also team fight actually. But even if the meta is more 5v5, it doesn't mean that Trin's champion identity is not to split push anymore. So I think by always going for a team fight and always grouping, no, I'm not playing to my champion strength. Now by always splitting, I'm not either. I need to find that balance, and I will find it by just keeping my practice going on and keep improving at the game. Have you thought about taking TP as part of your playstyle? I don't think TP is ever good as Tryndamere. You don't need it early, because You can bail yourself out of lane by just pressing Qs, and also you come back fast on the map because you have your E. And then later, well, you don't need it as much because you move so fast on the map, basically, and Ghost is super important. So you could argue Ghost TP then and have no flash. But I don't know how I feel about that. I don't believe it's ever good. I think it's only good to set up for potential backdoors. And Sather agrees with me, and probably that Ranger does too, because I never saw him run TP, and probably that Ole does too. I'm yet to see a Tryndamere player that goes TP in very, very high elo, that plays Tryndamere consistently. Can you do a video ranking all Tryndamere skins? Yes, it might be tomorrow's video. What separates a diamond for a Masters Tryndamere main? Well, most likely, if you are, it was actually a Diamond 2 player, if I remember well. Well, most likely, if you're Diamond 2, you have Master's knowledge already. So I talked about consistency. Yeah, you have the knowledge to actually make the plans, and you have the mechanics to actually like follow the plans and get yourself to master. Now, are you always planning? Are you always focusing in your games? Are you always playing according to your full knowledge? Most likely no. Also, most likely your mental is shit, because everyone's mental is shit in high diamond low masters. I mean, everyone, like 85% of the players. So if your mental is really strong, you already have a flat advantage over everyone else. But that's like without seeing, like, maybe the guy has a really good mental and he is actually lacking a lot of skill, etc. But I don't think so. Bonjour, c'est quoi s'il te plaît, le ou les counters? Okay, so what are Tryndamere's counters? Basically, two things: movement speed, armor. That's it. Movement speed, armor. Maybe Ignite Ghost would be OP in this matchup. So Ignite Ghost can be actually really strong in many matchups, and I know that Korean Tryndameres like to go Ignite Ghost almost every game. I've seen Ranger go Ignite Ghost in some of his games. I just personally don't feel like not having my flash. I also I used to go Flash Ignite a long time ago, and then I realized at some point that Ignite is the equivalent of like 1 extra or 2 extra autos. Ghost can give you like 7 extra autos that you wouldn't get, like, so it's just so much better. And then Flash, I mean, a Flash is a Flash, you know. But then in some matchups I go Cleanse Ghost, so probably that I could consider Ignite Ghost. I know that some of them do, some of the Tryndamere players do that into Darius, but I still don't know how I feel about it. Would you still upload off-stream tryhard games to YouTube? Yes, I will, if I get my internet fixed. You have build guide video for me. I don't, and I'm not gonna do one. I have a short what to build on Trynd that explains my builds, and in the comment I put updates to it, but basically I'm gonna do a full Tryndamere guide. I should have done it this season, but I'm gonna do it next season, because like there's no point in doing a guide for 2 weeks. Where can I get your spreadsheet? In the description of every single video. Hey, is there any chance you can create spreadsheet for most common top matchups? Yes, I have one already, and it's in the description. I'm from NA. What time do you stream? So I stream at usually from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. UTC +2 or GMT +2. It's French time. So you look at French time, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. and you look to your time, and that's when I stream. Do you plan to post every game on YouTube of this series? I think it was for Unranked 2 Masters, and I end up not posting every single game. I used to do that for the first series, and then I was like, well, some of them are just not interesting, so I never post every single game of a series. Is your Tryndamere guide, but it gets more and more advanced over time, open to the public? That's the video that I should have done last season, that I will do next season. It's a Tryndamere guide, but it gets more and more advanced over time, and I think it's gonna be really pod content. Any future coachings coming up? Any follow-up sessions? Do you have time with Ranger? So that's someone asking about me getting coached, and yes, I actually talked about it with Sather, so rank 1 Tryndamere NA, and he's gonna coach me most likely next week, and it's gonna be content for YouTube also. And then I want to wait for next season for a Ranger coaching. And Rangers, I already DM'd him about that, and he agreed to me using it for content, so I would be able to stream my coaching but also post my coaching on YouTube so you guys can learn from it. I think it's going to be a banger content as well, because I actually already got coached by Ranger, so I already asked him a lot of the questions that I had, and now I have even more advanced questions for him. Could you do a guide on split pushing macro? I have kind of one. It's called How to Win as a Split Pusher on my YouTube channel as well. But you can, maybe I can consider doing a more advanced one. Intro song, so it's Monaco by Bad Bunny. If you like the intro, that's the song that we use. Bro, when Troll Warlord gameplay, that's someone wanting me to play Dota 2. Well, I think I'm not gonna play anytime soon. I need to get Challenger first. I'm not gonna play any other game than League of Legends, maybe a bit of TFT to chill in my bed late at night. But other than that, I'm just gonna play Tryndamere until I'm Challenger. What made you change your main away from Nasus? The fact that I felt not potent in the very early game. Like, it's very rare that you get kills on Nasus in the first 3 levels, and I actually wanted to be able to kill someone at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And I felt like Tryndamere was good for that, and he was actually really good for that during durability patch and when you like a few seasons ago. Now some matchups like you can just not do shit for quite a long time. It was kind of the same, but less. What is the number one difference between you and Ranger as Tryndamere? Well, there is the number one is that he's just like so much better than me, and he has. So I have like, let's say 5 games in full Challenger games. That's my experience. 5 games. Ranger probably has 2,000, maybe like 4,000, maybe even more. I don't realize how much he plays every season. I know that this season he didn't play too much in Challenger, but yeah, that's basically like just overall knowledge of the game, experience. Rangers knows what everyone should do on their role and what everyone should build and what's everyone's role in team fight. I'm still finishing to learn what Tryndamere has to do. I'm still working on what Tryndamere has to do, and then I would have to work on the other matchups and bot laners and supports. But really, like, you see him press tab and he just knows who built wrong, who, like, he could just coordinate everyone. And that's why he gets also very frustrated in some of his games, because like the more you know, the more frustrated you can get. So if someone asks me about the number one difference, it's like experience / knowledge, which are two differences. Yeah, and also like the fact that Ranger would never go grasp. He will never not take responsibility fully, where like I'm not always playing to 1v9 and to stomp, which I think overall might be a mistake. I would call it a playstyle, but some could call it a mistake, and I could understand that. I just like, he just plays to outplay opponents. I just play to outplay a champion. And I just consider, okay, what if the enemy champion is played perfectly? And then I try to build for that and to play for that. But of course, no one plays perfect, so maybe I should just consider that I'm playing versus humans again, like he does. That's another difference. You don't like any Trynd skins? I do like Trynd skins, I just didn't have any on the account that I was playing on at the time. You have them on different buttons, just forgot about it in the heat of the moment. Regarding active, that's a mistake that I still commonly do. I just don't put my active items on the right spot. I don't put my potions on the right spot. It still happens a lot, so I'm working on it just to be more consistent about that. Legit, I've seen like Challenger players still do that mistake. It's so stupid, so I need to stop doing it. What do you think of the changes of minion speed? Well, you know, the change happened. Everyone was like, it's gonna change the game like so much, and then no one is talking about it anymore. I feel like, I mean, change is good. I like when there's change. Like it's just gonna keep happening, and it's what keeps the game alive. Of course, like there's way less rotation from a lane to another, but there still are. You're just most likely sacking away when you do that. So I think it made moving on the map more skilled overall, which I think it's good to add some skills expression, rather than take some away like Riot has done the last few years, actually, not patches. And then I just don't feel much about it. I just adapt to it. I just think that I'm happy that things are changing, you know. How do you know the damage and timings that well? Well, I argue that I don't know them that well because I compare myself to the absolute best players and they know them way better than me. But if I know them way better than most of you guys through thousands of hours of experience and attention also, because some people played thousands of hours but mindlessly without putting attention, without actually looking at what's happening, and that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, whenever I'm even watching gameplay, etc., I'm trying to observe, to learn stuff, etc. So yeah, and also I went on drills, for example, like to know when to use my ult. Sometimes I would say, okay, for the next 50 games, I'm going to try to ult at the very last moment. And I will lose 400 LP, but it doesn't matter because I'm gaining knowledge and experience. But why a different account? Why not just keep the last account no cap profile? Well, the reason is, I mean, just works with me. I don't think if you're comfortable and confident just playing on one account and never changing, that's the best thing to do. The account doesn't matter. All that matters is your knowledge and ability to perform. Now, for some people, it just like feels like a new start. You know, it's a new start, it's a new day, it's a new journey, and this journey I'm gonna fix this, etc. And I just like whenever like I just like to be able to have the data also that I'm on a new account. This account I'm playing only with this routine, with this mindset, etc. And then I have the data for only this mindset, this routine, etc. So I can also like compare to what I've been doing with other routines. So two reasons for me to go on different accounts. Français, yes, I'm French, of course. You can hear that, I think. Game, League of Legends. I mean, if you came to 31 minutes into this video, you know I'm talking about League of Legends most likely. Is it your birthday? No, it wasn't when the person asked me. My birthday is on August 1st, and actually we're having a birthday stream every year. It's really fun, and every year there's more and more people in there. So yeah, you can save the date already. August 1st. You have sub goals, you have giveaways. We just have a lot of fun on stream. It's a pretty bug day. That's how I celebrate my birthday every year. I mean, it's been 2 years that I just celebrated on stream. What do you think about the Alois NL early ward? So the guy defined it as warding before the lane starts to have info on the jungle pathing. Well, I think it's good, but it's good when it's good, you know, like it's good when you need it. Sometimes you just know where the jungle is pathing because your bot lane already warded bot camps, or your you know that you're facing this champion always starts on this camp, etc. Or you know that the enemy champion is going to path to bot at 95% accuracy or something. So it's good whenever nothing else gives you info, and then, well, you become the one giving you info. But yeah. What happened to the free coaching sessions? I could really use one. So basically, if I owe you a free coaching session, I will give it to you. I just took a pretty long break of coaching because I started working back in my old company in order to get some money flowing in, and then I'm building my own company now. And the I don't know how to call it, the accountant numbers, whatever, like it's gonna start on January 2nd. So I actually don't want to make money before January 2nd, which is weird, but it's the first time of my life that I don't want to get money flowing in. And whenever I do free coachings, I also end up selling paid coaching. So this is going to be the very last free coaching sessions that I offer. I will still offer free intros though. So you can still, like, we can get in a call, discuss about your objectives, your goals, see how I can help you. And I start giving you out a bit of value. But if you want to get in a full coaching session, it's going to be paid. It's going to be a low price at first. So yeah, if you're interested, just let me know or get back in touch with me starting on January 2nd. And then I would be very happy to coach you, either give you the free intro, either coach you for free if I already offered you a free coaching, but I still didn't give it to you because we didn't just schedule the time, or just do it like a paid coaching, which again would be pretty cheap compared to the market at first. How to see champion name instead of summon the name? It's in, yeah, so it's in settings, interface, show names above health bar. I put the answer here because I was gonna forget it. How are they supposed to spread the rank curve by manipulating Elo and MMR? This question was asked on a short about Emerald rank and what it actually did, and why Riot actually did that, which is basically to have 95% of the player base gain Elo for free without climbing on the ladder. You just gain Elo, so you have a feeling that you're, well, just gaining Elo. And I was arguing that the Gaussian curve that they wanted to have with the ranked distribution, well, they could have had it by just manipulating the MMR and the Elo. And someone was asking, well, how can they do that? Well, by just manipulating the algorithm that they created, you know. Like, it's a joke in France that we talk about the algorithm a lot. But of course there is one. Like, the joke is that the algorithm wants you to lose some games and win some games, and you can believe in anything that you want regarding that. But you cannot argue that there is no algorithm. Otherwise, like, how do they do the matchmaking? Like, if there was no algorithm, a silver player would tag a challenger and an iron player at the same time, you know. Like, of course there is one. Now, how complex is that algorithm? I don't know. But if they wanted to even out the distribution, they can do something very easy. If they think that there's too many people in plat, well, they can just do, if you're plat 1 and you win game, you gain the normal amount of LP plus 5. And if you're plat 4 and you lose game, you lose the amount of LP minus 5, for example. And this way they do that for a bit, and they push people out of plat, and hop, the distribution is evened out. That easy. And I don't understand how someone could think that Riot could not influence their own algorithm that they created and implemented in their own games. They're already doing it. They did it with Emerald, basically. So yeah, that was I didn't understand the 3 question marks. Anyway, do you have any tips on how to play from behind? On Tryndamere at least. Okay, so on any champion, because that's the question, it's not on Tryndamere, you need to think about the fact that regardless of how shitty the situation is, you still have a best play. You always have a best play. That's what actually playing League is. It's answering the question, what is my best play now? And there is always a best play. And no, it's never to stay in base. It's never to stay in base. It's never to start typing and flame your allies. It's never to complain. It's never to break your mouse or keyboard. There is a best play for your champion in a particular situation to have the most impact. Sometimes it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be just put a ward somewhere, clear a ward somewhere, wait out of experience and wait for your turn to play, because at some point your opponent, even if he's 2 items up, he's gonna base at some point, and at this point you can farm a few waves. Maybe that's your best play, but there is always one. You cannot argue that there is no best play. Of course, it might not lead you to victory, but it would lead you to having the most impact on that particular moment, which will maybe long-term lead you to victory. So just keep looking for that best play and do it. It just, like, it doesn't change. Cut the emotions, like, cut the emotions. Try to see it as an opportunity to keep finding that plan in different difficult situations. Or if you're thinking that, okay, the game is completely doomed, it's not only you being behind, but everyone's being behind, etc. Well, you still have playtime on the Rift. Try to go in the middle of a team fight and dodge every spell. That's it. Try something, you know, try to see how far, okay, how, like, can I actually proxy there? Because with Tryndamere, I really like to go Hydra whenever I'm really behind, and then just start being a pain in the ass, like doing the mosquito gameplay, proxying waves, going full like Babu's playstyle. So I don't know, test something, try something. If you think it's completely doomed, at least you have playtime on the Rift. Don't spend those 5 minutes just clicking around and moving your character for nothing. You can still learn something. So yeah. Those are my answer. Would you explain more when to push and when not to push? Well, I think I explained it in the video how to win as a split pusher. It's too complex for me to answer in just like one answer, basically. If you're asking me regarding laning phase, when to freeze and when to push, It's gonna depend on the other champions in the game. Like if you freeze, actually you're letting your opponent move on the map. You're not having the prio. You're kind of letting him move on the map. So if there's a herald up and your jungler is top, and I mean it's too complex because it also depends on the 2v2, because maybe your jungler can go and gank first and then you push the wave and then you do herald. It's too complex, but I think the video how to win as a speed pusher give you really good ideas that you can use in every single situations. Well guys, that was it. That was it. I was really worried at some points that the timer was stopping or that my mic was off, but we just did 40 minutes of just answering every single question that you guys asked me. This is not every single comment, by the way. You have at least double of the comments of you guys just saying nice things to me and supporting me on my journey of creating content. And I would like to thank you so much for that. Yeah, like I'm the reason why I started it, doing this, but you're the reason that I keep doing it, you know, and I will keep pushing again and again. Actually, for Christmas, I've got offered a few really good things regarding the content and the stream. I will have a new desk because my desk is terrible right now. It's completely shit. So I have a new desk, standing and sitting desk, you know, like you can put it up and down. I have some nice things for the background, to have a nice background. And if I cannot manage to have a nice background in my office, because my office, it's like, I mean, it's not the best, you know, like there's, yeah, that's how it looks right now. But I'm actually gonna rechange it, have a really nice space. If I cannot manage to have a nice background, I will actually put a green screen and then create a fake background, which will look really good. I will make sure that my mic gets closer to my mouth because I think I have a better sound when it's a bit closer. I think it shouldn't be like this, but probably like this, and right now it's like this. Also, my mic hides my keyboard because I still don't have something to hold it this way, you know, or this way. I would change my keyboard because I'm terrible at typing on that keyboard because I hate my keyboard. I've been hating it for a year and a half. And all of this is going to lead to better content. Of course, I'm also tryharding to get back in GM, in better games, etc. Yeah, all of this for you guys. And also, the guy that works with me on the SEO told me, most likely if someone asks you a question, it means that 100% ask themselves that question. So I would probably do specific videos on all of these subjects at least, and maybe I would break apart some of these subjects. But yeah, you can make sure that I would make videos about the runes, about the matchups, about the items, about Tryndamere specifics, about my content, me as a player, and other stuff. So yeah, guys, again, if you enjoyed it at this point, I mean, if you watched the whole 42 minutes and you're still there, most likely you're already subscribed to the channel. So the best thing that you can do to actually support the content to this point is just watch another video. So again, we post every day, so I'm sure there's one that could be interesting to you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for the support once again. Take care of yourselves, go to kind of an in-game and in real life, and I will see you next time. Peace, guys. Bye-bye.